When you work on a complex scenery inside the view, organization and memory management is very important. Otherwise, you will start having decreasing performance when you view in a camera or start work with multiple objects. So let's go for example. I will make several objects placed in the scenery. Let's select all of them, drop to the ground so we can preview, and you can see from main camera I can have a view of those objects. Right now our performance is okay and we don't have that much problem when we view from the main camera. This will change if we have thousands of these objects, and at this point your performance of the main camera does not refresh properly, same as in your render preview. To control better and organize, the view provide tools of the layers. If you work with Adobe Photoshop, you're probably familiar with concept of the layers. Otherwise, think about this as folders that may contain some objects inside those layers, inside those folders, and you can control those folders if you want to be them viewable or not. So for each of the sphere, we can hide from display, and notice right here when I select, it disappear from our view. However, it still be present as our render, so it's all what does, it's removed from rendering in our view windows, meaning camera or side or top other ones. This way, when OpenGL or other video card start rendering scenery, it's removing. We have a very simple object for this. If we start using a complex tree with multiple polygons, this is actually will be very helpful because you won't see them and it's perform much faster. Also, it will help to isolate this. But beside control this object, because it may be many of them, you can take the same object, you can move in a new layer, or you can select multiple objects, included clouds and maybe some other objects, and you can control them by layering. So you'll notice right here, I collapse a view layer inside the world browser. This way I can have multiple layers without worrying they expand too much and hard to navigate. Any layer that you create new or other, it's you double click, you can rename it so it's better suit what they're doing. So for example, right here we can call, let's call this ecosystem. Okay, we also can separate other clouds and so on. It does help you to organize. So on this case, if I wanted to create any additional cloud layer, I can easily go and add. So let's go like an atmosphere editor example. We'll go in a cloud and I'll just add new. Notice as long this layer was active, new objects that I added, currently clouds, they will be added in this layer. Of course, if you for some reason you have a different layer active and you add new cloud, you just click, hold down, and you can move and place this object or layer or other entity of the in view this application to the folder that you needed. So again, this is kind of like a layer folder. Okay, nice things also I noticed before, when you want to hide or display, you have the same ability on the side. So we can say lock this layer from moving. We can also hide this. So now if I move it, my clouds is one displayed. So it's there, but again, I can modify, and the one effect right now, if I want to do something else, the one effect performance. So let's go like hide object, and you can see now I can still work on this. So what's happened if I click on my layer? You'll notice now they appear, so I can work with them. You don't necessarily need to make them visible or invisible. You can select all, or you can select specifically and work and they become visible as time when they're active and displaying. This is help you to modify, readjust just specific object. You can go back, move it, and adjust them. Notice right here your render at this moment still showing all of them, so refresh still going. If you have some problems with refreshing in your camera preview, you have a few options. You can disable after update. On this case, anytime when you move it, you'll notice right here update does not happen. You can click with your left mouse click to refresh update when you want it. This is also will save some performance. Okay, or you can also switch on the preview quality. Currently it's standard, and we can go very fast, which is does not represent very well with the shadows or other things, or we can go for the best, but it will take a longer time to render. However, the smaller windows, it's much faster render than a larger size. Okay, we also have a preview priority, high, detail, default, or low. Default, it's have a good balance between speed, priority, and other windows, so just leave it default, or go with a low quality if you need a little bit faster or even slower to refresh if you don't care how fast to refresh. Okay, let's go back to our layers. You notice right here in our object, you also have the ability to click on an object, have it X, so it will remove them from the render. So you can hide. If you look on a layer and you come closer, you can click, you notice right here, we can also remove all object in this layer from hiding. So it is help you from going individually and disable all of them if you want just hide this layer from preview. And many times when I work this with maybe different type of the terrains and I just want render background or foreground, I maybe hide some of those layers so I can render for the preview maybe just specific layers, see how it's come up. So it give you also this ability of the hiding, same as single object, lock, and view inside the window. As you work with layers, layers will behave in some case similar to other objects, so you can select, drag, and rearrange this layer in a position you most desire. So it's help you to organize them as well. I would highly recommend when you work on a more complex project to create the layers and organize your object inside the layers. This way it helps you to work a little bit more efficient. And of course, same like for other objects, if you don't need any layers, you can erase them by clicking to delete or just press delete button. When you have multiple layers, sometimes it's very hard to try to open all layers. If you have many of them, try to find specific object. You always can go inside World Browser tab. You notice right here you have an arrow. In this case, even you disable, so we can go down and select by the type or sort by name. So let's go, we'll sort by names. You notice right here we don't have it layers display, but we order by names. So this case you can go and organize, find by names, sizes based on polygon sizes, and sort by types. So in this case, instead layering, we have it primitives, you notice group, lights, cameras, and as well if we have it plants or other things, they will be grouped this way. So you can modify and faster navigate in a way you want it. Okay, I'm just going to switch back to default view by layers. The overall, if you work with complex scenery, layers is quite a bit helpful, and I hope you find this tutorial help you to organize better your work. Thank you for watching tutorial from Geekatplay Studio. Please remember this us on the web is www.geekatplay.com.